45 minutes of solo piano done in one afternoon, and then you get paid 10K.
You done it in one afternoon?
An hour and a half. That's how much we spent on it.
My goal is always to make like $1,000 a day.
Wow, okay, we'll talk about that.
My first paid thing was on TikTok, and then they gave me 3,000 USD. You know, I was like, holy
I've only really been making like money the last...
So I think about marketing strategy and how I find clients in two ways.
producers refusing to be present on social media is almost kind of like...
What do you do for a living? How do you answer this question?
Yeah, I am kind of split. So I am a music producer and a songwriter, kind of first and foremost. I do a lot of writing with other artists. I work internationally, do a lot of remote production.
I am a composer and I specialize in writing music for films. But more recently, I've been doing stuff for trailers and ads as well, like music for media.
I am a full-time music creator.
I usually say I'm a music producer / DJ, and by nature of the business, a content creator.
I also run a company with my wife, actually, where we do like weekly tutorials. We have a website where we have, tools that producers can download. So sample packs, preset packs, courses. We have like a Facebook community. And all of that is under a different company called Make Pop Music.
How much money do you make per month or per year?
It depends. Some months are way higher than others. I guess my biggest month this year has been about $11,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
And the absolute lowest was like 3,000.
I feel like I usually will make at least 20,000 a month.
It fluctuates, 3 to even 10, 15. It's unpredictable.
Just in like revenue off of productions, sponsors, YouTube, sales, we probably did like close to 300,000.
How long have you been building your music business?
I did my undergrad and I graduated that in 2017. Then I moved countries to the US. I lived in Colombia. I moved to the US in 2018, did a master's program until 2020. But since I got here, I've been really like building the whole thing. So I would say like over 6 years.
For probably the first 2 years of having the Make Pop Music group, I didn't really make money through content or anything like that. I more so made relationships that kind of turned into paying projects as a producer.
I've been trying to make it in the music industry since I graduated from Berkeley in 2012. And it took me a really long time to kind of find my place. I've only really been making like money the last 3 years, since 2021. I just like finally landed on it. It just took 10 years.
It's been very long. Like I started back in 2015, but I didn't monetize up until 2021. So
how do you make your money? Like, what are your different income sources?
Well, there's, freelance production that like I do like a work for hire project. So an artist hires me, they get a contract and an invoice for however much money that project is going to cost. The productions that I do, probably 100 to 150,000 a year. And then we have Make Pop Music. And then the ways that makes money is the sample packs, preset packs, and courses that we have. We probably do about 150,000 in sales a year for that.
Composing for films, composing for ads, composing for trailers, and then everything else. Just this year, I started doing a little bit of, education in the side of social media content creation for composers specifically. So I run my own cohort this summer, and it was so much fun. It was so much work.
So it's my products, so like my own like
Digital products.
Yeah, digital products, and then also working with music tech companies. So I'm like content for them, sample packs, sometimes even like music for them.
It's obviously YouTube, AdSense, it's campaigns and sponsorships. I have an online course, affiliate marketing, and I also do services. So I produce for brands and I also DJ. The biggest is the course and sponsorships. Yeah. And then the lowest income stream for me currently it's AdSense on YouTube.
Thank God you said that. So many people keep saying you monetize just through YouTube AdSense. And I'm like, no.
That is not enough to pay for anything really.
Yeah.
I think currently on YouTube, I'm making around 500-600 USD.
Yeah,
That's
I make like 300. Yeah. I know in a recent like video story that you made, you said that you were charging or getting like $2,500 like dollars per like sponsored video or something. Was it like long form, short form? Like how do you go about pricing?
Well, my current rates are for Instagram, $1,500 per video. And then if you want to add that same video on TikTok, it's $500. So then it comes into $2,000. And then to put that same video, short form video onto YouTube, it's $2,500. So those are the ones I usually get booked out for. So anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500. I mean, the most money I make with music tech companies is like creating content for them. Yeah. So I've done a bunch of contracts where I'm like creating like videos for them like on a daily basis even.
How do you deal with the ups and downs of having your own music business?
Freaking out? No. Actually, no. No. Well, now I know how to deal with it, and is that you kind of have to be always prepared for the lows especially when you're living the highs.
How do you find your clients, customers, students? What's your marketing strategy?
I really like to attract, not chase. So I really use social media for everything. And I view social media like fishing, right? If you put out the right bait for the right client, they will come to you. So
I love that.
If I'm selling like a social media class, I'm going to make for musicians, right? I'm going to make content for musicians who are struggling with social media, like quite literally, right?
So I think about marketing strategy and how I find clients in two ways. So one part is social media, a big part, I feel like maybe 80%. The other 20% is usually like in-person networking or personal recommendations from previous connections that I've had. A lot of those connections come from when I was in school, graduated a grad program in NYU back in the pandemic, and all the professors that I had there, I ended up working with a few of them in actual studio projects.
I am very passive with my marketing. We don't run ads for Make Pop Music. I'm not going out and like overly networking for my productions. It's more so just like, I'm gonna work on something, and if you're interested in that and you need that done for you, now you see that I can do that.
So actually, previously I didn't have any strategies. Just by being on social media, making videos, I'd get clients that come through my DM or via email. But recently, this is like 5 months ago, I started reaching out to like companies, brands. But before that, companies would just reach out to me, which was kind of risky, but I got through it. You know, companies would just send me an email, and then I get a campaign, I get a sponsorship.
Do you have any other employees?
No, just us.
I don't have employees, but I do hire freelancers from time to time. Like I do contract with whatever, like orchestrators, musicians to play on my scores. Although with this feature that I'm scoring, I've been seeing there's gonna be so much work. I'm probably gonna need some, like a general assistant for like to oversee like that nothing is breaking, because it's so much music.
For the longest time, it was just me.
Okay.
Now I have very slowly started to recruit people on my team. So I really believe to hire people for things that you can do already and that you can do really well. So you can almost kind of train them, right? So I never hire somebody to do something for me that I don't know how to do.
I am solo, like completely solo. I'm even editing my own video.
How many hours per week would you say you make music? Because a lot of people are afraid that it would lose the ability to make music because they're making content.
Probably 30 hours are going straight to music and production projects, and then maybe 8 to 10 for, setting up a tutorial, filming a tutorial, creating a thumbnail, commenting people back online. That's kind of my split.
It's pretty much 50-50, I would say. I try to compose every day, at least a little bit every day. And when that fluctuates, when I have a project coming up, like for example, I'm currently working on a feature film, so I will have to compose way more volume of music per day in order to meet my deadline. But then at the same time, to create content that is surrounding a composer's life, you kind of have to go into what we're already doing for work and film that and film your daily life. I don't know, whatever. So it's like a lot of what I do composing, it's being filmed at the same time, so I don't have to think about them in separate worlds. They're the same thing.
I do make music every day, and I want to release more music, so that's another goal of mine. I'm going to try to release music like every 4 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Really, like, I cannot do this job without making music. First of all, like, I need to make music to demo all the like plugins and equipment.
And I'm not releasing music half as much as I used to. Most times when I make a beat from start to finish, it's usually for a brand. I mean, there was a switch in me when I moved from like focusing on being a music producer to social media.
But you still get to do music every day, like an hour a day, which is more than...
I mean, some days it's much longer than an hour, because now I just do it because I love to do it and I enjoy it. I don't do it with a goal in mind that I want to create a hit, just do it for myself. I used to think that if I create videos, then I'm not going to have time to produce music, blah, 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 but it's actually not true.
What would you say about your job is the biggest like pros but cons as well, if any?
Pros are just like, I get to make music every day. I get to, help out hundreds of thousands of people a year with our tutorials. We make great money. Like, we live an amazing life for work to not be miserable.
Biggest pro is that I love what I do. I live for my passion. Playing music doesn't feel like work.
Pros, I mean, so many pros, right? I get to pick my own, I get to work from home. I get to meet like really cool people all over the world. I get invited to really cool things all over the world. I get lots of free gear. I'm like, I mean, cons, I really can't say I have any cons. Like,
really? Come on.
No, like, I am quite literally living my dream. I just struggle being human. Yeah, like the hate comments are hard. There's criticism of anything, right? Like,
the editing.
The editing?
I don't like doing it. I do not like editing.
You don't like it, but you still know what it can give you, so you still do it, and it works, and you're a full-time music producer doing everything else that you love.
Having to deliver stuff under tight deadlines feels like work and makes it feel a little bit less cool. So I would say that that's a big con, like feeling like the pressure of delivering stuff really fast.
The hard parts are just kind of like, I guess when creativity is not striking and when, video ideas aren't coming or sales are dropping or whatever, everything has peaks and valleys. It's going to be fine. Like, you're going to get your creative ideas back.
Was there any moment in your journey that you realized this could really be a career?
So I remember when I did my first paid promotion. I remember I'm coming from making $0 a month. And then my first paid thing was on TikTok. They were doing this thing, and then they gave me 3,000 USD. And remember, I'm coming from not making any money.
That's a good deal.
Oh, yeah. I was like, holy what do I do with this? And that's why it clicked. I'm like, yo, I can go full time. Like,
the moment when I landed my first 5-figure project, 45 minutes of solo piano done in one afternoon, and then you get paid 10K.
You've done it in one afternoon and you get paid 5 figures?
An hour and a half. That's how much we spent on it. I guess it made sense because it's for a big brand, and a big actress was, like an Oscar winner actress was attached to the commercial. So they had the budget. But also it was kind of crazy that it also just took like a day. Those moments are like not very common though. They don't come every day, so you can't get used to that. But that was one of those that I was like, okay, yeah, I could make this work.
Since the beginning of your career, of your music business career, what was your biggest takeaway?
Just working smarter and not harder. Trying to stay dedicated and trying to like stay on top of my task without being overly ritualistic just for the sake of it, because it just wasn't working for me. There was a lot of time being wasted with like nothing to really show for it, where now I can get more done in like a 30-hour week than I ever used to in like a 50-hour week.
Nobody is going to give you the key to the door of success.
Do your own thing, write your own thing, and then cast yourself. Create your own perfect job for yourself. And that's what I really did for myself.
There's a lot of people trying to do this. Why do you think you succeeded in making a full-time income from your music compared to other people?
I think that I've been rewarded because I put in so much time, so much sweat equity, so much love and care into making music, into making content for people, paid and free. And I think that at some point, you will be rewarded for that. It just takes a lot of time to kind of recoup those benefits. And luckily, I was able to kind of make all of these jumps into producing full-time or running a YouTube channel or, creating a course. I was able to do all of those in a time of my life where like I could sacrifice the amount of time and effort it would take.
2 things. proactiveness, like the fact that I just keep going, and no matter what, even like if I get 5 no's, 10 no's, there's always gonna be a yes at the end of those. But then the other thing that I think is extremely important is a great support system from the people around me. If they have the same kind of values, like the filmmakers that you work with, if they want to make films and then they make them and then they put them in festivals and they get awards and all this stuff, if they do that, great. That is like contagious.
Yeah.
That proactiveness and that passion for life and for what we do.
I did the work.
Love that.
Seriously, like I'm not more talented than anybody. I'm not the best singer. I'm not the best producer. I'm not the best at business. I'm not the smartest. I'm not the richest. I literally just did the work.
Adaptability. So where people are, you need to be there. If people are on TikTok or IG or YouTube, you need to be where they are so that they can discover you. Producers refusing to be present on social media is almost kind of like refusing to have a career in music.
I could not agree more with that. Did you ever struggle when you first started to film yourself to make the videos? Or was it pretty natural for you? Did you ever, struggle with mean comments?
I get them all the time.
The pressure and stuff like this. Can you maybe talk about this? Because I know that's usually a part that scares aspiring music creators.
I look back and I definitely look and feel awkward on camera, but I didn't feel overly terrible when I was doing it. We get insane stuff in our comments all the time. And most of the time it doesn't bother me. Most of the time I'm pretty secure, I'm pretty confident. But there are some days that I see that one comment and my whole day is ruined. And I know it's annoying because I scrolled past 14 really, really sweet comments to see it. But I'll see one and it'll strike a chord and I just get pissed off.
The talking head is crazy. I'm an introvert. It's really hard to communicate, but I feel like I found my space where I can be a loud introvert. I can really express myself without that fear of I'm surrounded by a group of people in a room and I have to interact with everybody and it's nerve-wracking. No, doing it in a video now feels more comfortable to me, but it was so hard to get into that. It just had to do it. I had to do it and do it and do it and do it until I felt comfortable.
You said you have digital products. Where could they check it out?
Yeah, so actually we're all at www.seids.co and I'll give you everyone watching this video, a discount.
It'll be in the description.
In the description? Okay, great.
Yeah. If you want to see how I became a full-time music creator, you can watch this video next. But in the meantime, I hope this video was valuable to you. Keep learning and I'll see you in the next one. One take, baby.